Like we like to look down on beliefs because in our society, like, we're told to like believe things, right? But some of like the world's greatest people were extremely religious people. I'm not saying that we should be extremely religious. It's just we should always be analyzing things through our own experience. Like, I can only really believe something that I've experienced. Like, I can say, yeah, that I experience astral projection when I'm asleep and I'm dreaming, but you might not experience it the same way, so it might not hold true to yourself, right?
Here's a way you could use the idea I'm talking about and like confirm the astral projection for yourself. Mm-hmm. You could go to sleep one night and then have no beliefs, no preconceived notion about astral projection.
Yeah, exactly.
And then if it happens, if it continues to happen, and it allows you to come back into that space, and you're not sitting yourself and like, oh, was that astral projection? It's not like after the fact, and we're like, oh, I think it was. Yes, it was. Then right, and then. But if you just go to sleep and it just happens, and this is maybe a bad subject to talk about that way, but I like.
No, I think it applies because it definitely.
Because astral projection, I think that if it happened, you would know. So like, I don't think it would be as a matter of belief.
You have to have a serious understanding of what it actually is exactly. Okay. So astral projections for me could be taken in multiple ways. You could actually have something where you're lucid, you're live, you're actually like not sleeping, and you could think like, and you could be sleeping and have either your deep sleep astral projection, or I think you can have kind of like an in between. You've had I've been sleeping and had dreams about a friend that's passed away. And it seems so real that in a way to me could have been some kind of astral projection, because like he could have been there. He told me that my friend was leaving. I thought, like, I didn't know what he meant when he told me in the dream. Like, he said, he's gone, Michael's gone. And then it was before I found out, the day after he told me he was going to Alberta. And like my friend was passed away, and he told me this. Like, so that's in a way the dreaming state.
That's a good example of something that you didn't have to believe that.
No, I didn't even think about that. I had no intention of doing this before. It's an experience. And then another time I was sleeping in the basement of my dad's place, and I had this trippy ass dream where I took some drugs, and this guy's going to trip out, and like I started freaking out. So I woke up, and because dogs' faces started melting, and they were gonna like bite me or something, and they're really cool dogs at first, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna wake up now. And then I saw like a cat, and then something that was like not there but was there, and I seemed like I was awake, but this was more lucid but not, in between the worlds. And like they were telling me like to come follow them, I have to show you something. And I started to get up, but then I got freaked out, and I stayed, and I woke up, and I wrote down exactly what happened to my dreams, everything. And it was just like, that could have been some kind of out-of-body experience, but I didn't want to experience it. I was not ready for that. I was too afraid. Like, I was like, this isn't, like, I feel like I'm in my room, but shit's happening that shouldn't be happening in my room, so I just, like, stopped. I was like, that's it.
Yeah, there's times, like, oh, tape's done on that? There's a tape right there. Sure.
I didn't know.
How does that belief not matter?
It
Or if it matters, but
like,
is
it
it like,
does, but like,
the idea of saying it is something, it just be the next duality.
When it comes to belief,
Would it not just be the next duality?
when it comes to belief, it's like it has a lot to do with retrospect. So like often when people think they're believing something or something like that, they're not really focusing on the present moment. They're more so looking on a past moment and trying to like analyze it with their critical mind. And there's only certain capacity we have like in retrospective like memory rather than like our present moment, right? So if you're to look at it that like,
this is a belief, then the beliefs only really apply to the past. So as long as you're always like just trying to experience it with no expectation, expectation is the worst thing you can really have.
You cannot expect. Yeah, you're exactly right. You cannot expect.
Something that's constantly evolving has to remember where it came from.
How
How does it know where it's going?
Do that.
That's the belief that time is linear.
Yep.
Time is just single moments happening repeatedly over and over again. You realize that history itself is simply changed events that we made for ourselves.
Right.
So really, for something to evolve, it doesn't mean it has to remember what it was, because sometimes the evolution is the requirement of them to forget what they were.
Right.
I've personally evolved a lot in the last year, and in order to do that, I had to let go of what I was and literally push it out of my mind and out of my body. I've And through that, I've lost weight, I've gained muscle, I've become calmer, less
Cheers,
angry.
buddy.
It's
Acceptance, my friend.
Exactly. I've accepted the fact of what I didn't believe what I wanted to be. I accepted that that's what I was. I just need to get there.
No, but that's actually the power of belief. If there was no such thing as
But I
belief, there would
never
be no such thing
believed it.
as
I said it
falsehood.
was.
And if you think of
I
it,
just wanted to be. It was the desire that brought me there.
right. I know. Yeah. I actually think belief is a really positive thing, and like I would actually associate what happened to you as like as something that had to do with belief, but belief is so powerful though that it can actually like destroy reality, and that's why you don't. If you want to find the truth, you don't want to destroy reality. You want to negate your belief, but if you want to destroy reality in a certain way so you can like get that gold medal or like whatever, then you start to believe, you start to like
that's
engage.
a good point. Like, I mean, belief in yourself is like an intention for yourself, and you can create that future.
It can
for
be
yourself.
good.
But to have
it can be a good
beliefs
thing.
in ideas, that creates constructs within your mind that potentially limit yourself from comprehending future ideas.
That's really cool,
and
though.
experiencing
That's cool.
future things.
Yeah.
Now, as much as we can stay up here and talking, guys, unfortunately, time is dwindling, so we're gonna have to pretty much. We're gonna pretty much have to end it. We're gonna end what we're doing here on stage, but I invite everyone to chill out and let's just like hijack that spot in the corner over
Can I
there.
add one thing about astral projection?
Let's just add in like one final point each if we need to. So yes, add in your final point.
So, dudes, there's also like the two. I was talking about 3 levels of astral projections. Like you could have your dream one, you could have your like mid one, and then there's your life one where you could actually feel what people are living. Is like you could actually feel and sense what people are thinking and feeling when you're lucid and awake too. And that's like one thing would be like if you're like having your love making or whatever, you can actually feel the person like coming into that zone, right? And you can actually like connect with them on that level. So like really like astral projections I think can be beyond like it's like you can practice it anytime. Like it's like a really cool thing.
Yeah,
it's like
astral
dream
projection
world,
is like putting your emotions outside of yourself and like getting other people's emotions, like being more empathetic, really.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, but not just in the sense of like, understanding how someone feels, but literally feeling how someone feels.
Yeah, that can be hard to do.
Okay.
And
So,
point from
it's
you.
hard, though. Even like in like when there's a war or something, you could feel like if you're about to shoot someone, you could like know how that person might be feeling coming at you, enraged or something. Like if you're like on a standoff or something, like it's so easy to like catch on to those feelings and thoughts.
Yeah.
And it's like just like daily activities. Really, it doesn't even have to be some kind of alternate reality or anything. It's just what it is. It's like every day, and it's just everyone like it's not some kind of like outer limits thing. It's like every day.
all right, let's.
Last point from this guy.
My last point is that you're all very important people. Don't doubt that. You're probably more important than you realize, and so I don't know. I guess that's what.
Last point I would say is a lot of people get caught up way too much in trying to know too many things about spirituality or trying to just attain so much knowledge, but they never really put a practical use to it. So, like I always say this whenever I meet anybody new, or if I like just in general, like the whole idea is about experience. So if you're not trying to experience things, then you're really missing out on a lot. Like. All I can really say to someone is if you write down your dreams and like meditate daily, do those 2 things and it'll change your life like on a very fundamental level. You do it practically and like just write down what you experience, it's really interesting what will happen.
Non-empirical itself.
What do you mean by non-empirical?
If it's empirical, then it's rather literal. But if you believe in something allegorical.
Oh, so you're talking about like the writing it down? Yeah, of course. You can never really put like true raw truth and experience cannot really be described in words. Like.
Yeah, to the self. Yeah.
The senses are able to obtain things that are very empirical. So shouldn't mistrust your senses. The senses can be wrong, but they're always trying to be right. Like that's one thing with your senses is that your eyes will always try to see the correct thing, no matter what. Like they'll never like try to mistake it, So like your ears and everything, they never try to mess up. They're always just trying to get the right thing. So I find that that's a good starting point. Yeah.
All right, guys. So on that note, if I were to give you some final message, it would to question everything. Never feel as if you've learned as much as you need to. as soon as you feel that you've learned as much as you need to, then you've created this finish line for yourself, and you'll sooner find yourself less eager to run the race. So instead, goals aren't something to be achieved, they're something to strive for. So always strive for the unobtainable, and you'll always find something in life worth living for. And that's Energy Exchange. Cool. Woo!